What is up? Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my college application process. If you're a senior kind of freaking out about college right now, or if you're a junior thinking about your college applications, maybe, just maybe, you will find this video helpful. I remember that when I was a senior applying to college, I was always freaking out all the time about it, and I would watch these videos to kind of gain some insight. A little disclaimer before I begin, please take everything I say with a big, fat, juicy grain of salt. I am not a college admissions officer, and I definitely do not know what goes on inside their minds and who gets accepted and who doesn't. Please remember that stats and numbers do not define you. I just want to share a bit of my experience and some advice that I may have. Maybe you guys might find it helpful. So just so you guys know where I am now, I'm currently a freshman at Boston University studying film and TV and public relations, but I also applied to similar schools and got into Northeastern, UC San Diego, and UC Santa Barbara. If you guys want to see all the schools that I applied to and got rejected and accepted from, make sure to check out my college decision reaction video up on my channel. My reactions are pretty pathetic and they may make you laugh, so check that out. So now that you guys know where I am now, let's talk about where I was a year ago. I went to a kind of mid-sized public high school in Southern California. I think there are around like 400 to 500 kids in my graduating class. So I definitely didn't take the most rigorous course load at my high school, but I did take a lot of honors and AP classes. I also did take classes that I thought were interesting to me and I thought would challenge me regardless of if they were honors or AP. I think overall I took about 8 AP classes in high school and 4 of them were in my senior year. So when I applied to college, I had already taken 4 AP classes. I guess I'll list all of the AP classes that I took right here. My school didn't exactly do like rank, but when we applied to college, they did tell us what percentile of our class we were in. Somehow I was in the top 10% of my class, and I literally think I was the 10%, not the 1%, because it's not like I got straight A's. I did get a good amount of B's in high school. I'm mainly gonna attribute that to the fact that I suck at math and science. So when I applied to college, my unweighted GPA was like a 3.8 or a 3.9, and my weighted GPA was like a 4.15 or a 4.2, somewhere in that range. So that's kind of everything about my high school and my grades in high school. So next, let's move on to test scores. So I did not take the SAT, I took the ACT. I took it 2 times. The first time that I took it was in the beginning of my junior year, and I got a 32. I'll insert kind of the details of that here. And then in the beginning of my senior year, I took it again and I got a 33. What's kind of interesting about these scores is that in the math section, I did a lot worse the second time around. If you want to know why my math score went down, I made the stupid decision to get a graphing calculator that my dumb self didn't know how to use the day before, so I didn't do half of the math section. I literally left it blank because I did not know how to add on there. Not my brightest moment. So that was my ACT score. I think BU and a lot of other schools super score your test scores. That basically means they'll take the highest numbers from all the times you took the test and kind of create a new ACT score for you. So super scored, my ACT was a 34. Keep in mind that not all schools do this. When I was applying to college, I had taken 4 AP exams and I'd gotten 4s on all of them except for a 3 on AP biology. And I didn't really take any subject tests except for one in US history that I got a 670 on, but I don't think I submitted that to any of my schools. Next up, I'm going to be talking about my extracurriculars. So on the Common App, there are 10 slots for you to put in your extracurriculars and activities. You can write more in this kind of additional information section, but it's best to put your 10 main extracurriculars in these slots. Something that I was really nervous about when I applied to college was the fact that I had spent a lot of my freshman and sophomore years of high school really trying to figure out what I liked and what I wanted. In fact, my main extracurricular that I actually wrote my Common App essay about and was like in the very first slot of the activities section, I didn't even join that until my junior year. Don't stay with a club just because you want to be in it for all 4 years and show it to colleges, because when you're actually interested in something, you'll devote more time to it, more energy to it, and you'll be able to show colleges that you actually are passionate about the things that you're doing. My extracurriculars also weren't necessarily very strong. I didn't have a lot of awards in them, and I didn't have leadership positions in all of them, but I think what stood out to colleges was that my extracurriculars aligned with everything that I wanted to do. So for example, I'm a film major, and a lot of my extracurriculars and activities were film related. My Common App essay was about film. My letter of recommendation was from my film teacher. So I was really involved in a lot of things. I'll list all the ones that I put on my Common App right here. The main one was being a part of my high school's film production team. In my senior year, I was able to get a big leadership position in that. I really recommend trying to get leadership positions, not only because they look great on college applications, but you can really learn a lot, and it's a great way to get further involved with the clubs that you're in. I was also on my school's class council again for 2 years. Then my senior year, I was senior class vice president. You can honestly really write any activities on the Common App. You can talk about your job, talk about if you take care of siblings, counseling. I worked a job in high school and I put that down. I was also in like National Honor Society, which like everyone was in, but I put it down anyways. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of my extracurriculars. The next thing I'm going to talk about is my Common App essay, and then I'll move into the BU essay. So for my Common App essay, I wrote about gaining confidence as a filmmaker, and I talked about my experience making this documentary about my grandfather. For writing the Common App essay, I really recommend writing something that's going to show off your personality, your interests, your passions. That's really your opportunity to show colleges what you are all about. Honestly, you can write about anything. Also, write your essays early. I started writing my essay the summer before my senior year started, and honestly, it could have done with a bit more improvement, because when I reread my essay, I realized that I had like 5 typos in it. Like, you know when you use the wrong to or your? Like, I did that for 5 words that weren't to or your, like regular words. This is why I question why I got into college. So now I'm going to talk about the BU supplemental essay. I'm pretty sure that this essay is always going to say the same. It's basically a YBU essay. My advice when it comes to writing these types of essays is to really do a ton of research on the school. If you're applying to a school in a big city like Boston, for example, I would advise you not to write about things that are common to all of the schools in Boston. For example, don't talk about how you want to be in a city. You could do that if you went to really any school. So research the school you're going to, look at actual specific programs and things about the school that you love, and write about them. I wrote about their film program, activities that I wanted to join, organizations that I wanted to join, professors that I wanted to take classes with, and specific classes that I wanted to take. I was really specific in my YBU essay, and I really do think that that helped. I also wanted to add that because I applied as a film major to a lot of these schools, I had to do a few portfolios and supplemental essays. I did have to submit like a few films, make like creative resumes and things like that. If you guys have any questions about that, make sure to leave them in the comments below. So before I end the video, I just want to give my general advice and tips to you guys applying to college right now. Really just remember to be yourself. That's what colleges are looking for. They're looking for unique individuals with unique personalities. Please also remember that there is a certain amount of luck that goes into college admissions. I definitely think that I was super lucky to get into a lot of these schools. If you guys have any questions about BU or the college application process, make sure to leave them down below in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it, and please subscribe if you want to see more BU related content. I'll be back on campus in 2 weeks, so I'll be making a lot more videos there pretty soon. But yeah, that's all I've got, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!